Hello, my name is Winterstar, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make acrylic keychains using Procreate and Vograce. This will be a full tutorial, start to finish, like even just basic sketching, to actually having a finished keychain in hand. So let's get into the video. First off, this video is sponsored by Vograce, so a big thank you to them for that, but also Vograce is just who I use to make all of my keychains anyway. I've been using them for years, and they're pretty great. So let's get into the video. First off, you will actually need some artwork. I usually start out with sketching, and paper I found is really good for getting out just the general shapes and concept art, so that's usually where I start. Once you have some sketches and you know what you want to draw, you need to set up the file in Procreate. It's good to have a fairly large file, like 2000 by 3000 pixels, and in a CMYK color profile, which is formatted for printing, whereas RGB is more for screens. The next steps are, of course, to finish sketching, inking, and coloring one side of the keychain. Some general notes about drawing keychains is to make sure it will look good at a small size, especially with any text, since keychains are usually 1 to 3 inches. You also don't want to have too many tiny floating details because remember, the keychain acrylic will need to go around all of those details. Remember, again, that you're also drawing in CMYK, so don't use super bright RGB colors because those will get pretty washed out. An important note about acrylic keychains is that most of them are double-sided, so the outlines of each side need to match up exactly. If you want to keep it simple, you can make each side exactly the same, which for some of my keychains, I will do that. Both sides are exactly the same. But sometimes I want to make it a little bit more exciting, so I'll make both sides different and have different artwork. So here's how you do that. Once you actually have the artwork for one side of the keychain, you will need to duplicate the file and flip the canvas horizontally. This is what your keychain will look like on the other side. Remember that the outlines need to match up exactly, so if you want it to be the same on both sides, you can just leave it normal and have the same design on both sides. But if you want to have a different design on the other side, you can draw whatever you want, but it just needs to stay within that outline. This also means if you have any text, you will need to flip that back around because it will be otherwise backwards, and you don't really want that. When you are drawing the second side of the keychain, you can change anything you want within the borders, but you cannot alter anything beyond the outer lines unless you change it on the front side as well. Now you can just go ahead and create your new design, keeping the same outline for it. You can erase the line art on the inside, but keep the outline exactly the same, or if you just want it to be a little bit different, you can change some colors, or the expression, or some of the clothing. If you want to keep things simple for yourself, you can create something like a frame, like I did for these keychains, so everything will be the exact same along the border of the frame, and I can change whatever I want on the inside. Now you have your design! You can flip it back and forth to make sure that it all looks correct, and if you need to double check that all of the outside edges line up, you can export one side's file with a clear background, put it over the other file, and flip it horizontally to make sure all of the edges line up correctly. If you have any small adjustments you need to make, now is the time to do that. So now you have your artwork and you need to make it into an acrylic keychain. For this, you need to do a couple of things. First off, you will need a cut line. This is basically the outline where your or manufacturer will cut out the acrylic, as well as put a small hole for the keychain attachment. If you don't provide a cut line, they will usually just make their own, but I like to draw all of mine so it's exactly how I want it to look. All you need is a quick sketch around your keychain outline showing where you want the outline and hole to go for. I do this for all of my keychains and put them all together on one PNG file, also making sure to specify which images are the front and back so it's all in one places to keep things simple for my manufacturer. There are a ton of different acrylic keychain manufacturers, but the one I've always used and the one I'll be showing an example for today is Vograce. For any manufacturers, there are ups and downs and you need to form your own opinions, but for me, Vograce, the quality has always been really good, and anytime I wasn't fully satisfied or the quality was a little bit less, they're always quick to get back to me and remake anything I wasn't happy with. So I really do like them. Once you have all of your keychains finished, here is how you place an order for keychain with Vograce. First off, you're going to want to go into Vograce's website and click on keychains. Select the type of keychain you want, and for me, for this one, it is holographic keychains, and start selecting the specific requirements you want. I have different designs for each side of my keychain, so I select double-sided different designs, and I wanted double-sided holographic broken glass, and I also wanted it to be 3 inches. The inch measurement will be the longest side of your keychain, so even if it says 3 inches tall and your keychain is super wide, it will be 3 inches wide. You can then choose your accessory, which is a little clasp for it, and choose the amount of keychains you want and upload your file. If you are ordering a bunch of different designs with the same specifications, meaning the same sizing and special effects, you can order it all at once. On Procreate, save all of your keychains as clear background PNGs and name all of them in this format, with the design name, whether it's the front or back, the quantity, and the accessory number. You can change the quantity and accessory number even within just one order, but you do need to make sure if you're putting them all within the same zipped file that you do label which ones are 2 inches and which ones are 3 inches, and etc. You need to add up all of the amounts for your total keychains and enter that as your quantity, and you can get a discount the more you order, which is pretty nice. Then you go and add them to your cart and add any order notes, like if you need the charms by a certain date, usually at least several weeks out, and then you can check out and pay. If you do want to save a little bit of money, Vograce does have a VIP program, which is about $40 a year, I believe, and you save 8% on every order you place. And you also get a little bit more of a discount for their monthly discounts that they do. I do currently pay for the VIP because I place enough orders with Vograce that it is worth it to me. Once you place your order with Vograce, you will get a digital proof in your email a few days later with the cut lines, sizes, and attachments for all of your charms. Once you are satisfied with how the proof looks, you can give them the go-ahead and finalize your order. Usually my order takes about 2 to 4 weeks to arrive from the time I place the order to the time that it arrives at my doorstep, and then it comes. And I filmed the rest of this a little bit earlier, and I'm still waiting for my charms when I'm filming this, but now I will give my honest review on how these charms look. All the charms usually come in little bags, and each of the charms also has a clear protective film on each side. I typically leave this on so the customer can peel it off themselves, but it's ultimately up to you. So now it is time for my honest review, just getting these charms in the mail. Honestly, I am really happy with them. As I said before, sometimes there's like a little bit of quality issues, but those don't usually happen to me. And again, anytime that they're having quality issues or I got the wrong amount or anything, Vograce has always been really quick to get back to me and remake these charms. But for this one, it wasn't at all necessary. Everything about them is exactly how I envisioned it. This is exactly what I wanted, and honestly, just 10 out of 10 for these charms. Again, Vograce, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and letting me get all of these charms. I am super happy with how they turned out, and again, to everybody watching, thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you guys learn how to make your own acrylic keychains using Procreate and Vograce. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.